I didn't intend for this video to be like a trial and error for getting the recipe down. I strictly wanted it to be I thought it was going to come out like fine the first time, but I was actually trying to recreate this curry that I had when I was in Hawaii a few weeks ago. I'm going to show you the recipes and let me know if you try them. If you like this recipe or if you try it, let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and get started. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy. This was my first time cooking with lemongrass, and what you want to do is remove the two ends and then remove the stalk from the middle part, the hard parts, and then chop that up. And then at this point you can either boil it if you're making a soup or chop it up like I'm doing for sauteing. And then I'm adding in my onions and carrots in coconut oil. I could have added the bell peppers later, definitely could have added the broccoli later. I changed that in the recipes that you'll see coming up. And I steamed the broccoli before, which is not necessary. It's gonna cause it to be a little bit too soft. And one thing that I learned in doing all these recipes is that adding curry sauce along the way is definitely a key and adds a lot of flavor to the vegetables. So I definitely recommend that. And I saw a few recipes suggesting veggie broth and coconut milk for the liquid base of the curry. And going forward, I probably wouldn't try that combination again. It made it a little too watery, so I added arrowroot powder to counteract that. You could also cut the amount of liquid that you put in, or even try a thicker coconut milk, which I don't think I had a very thick one. I think the ones in the cans are thicker, so you can try that if you're going to be making this recipe. I can't remember what kind of pepper that was, but I only used half and it wasn't spicy at all. If you're into a more savory flavor, then I would definitely suggest this recipe. It turned out pretty good. For the next recipe, I just took the curry that I made from the previous curried vegetables recipe and poured it over some zucchini noodles and took that to work for lunch, and they kept really well in a bowl together, so you can reheat that and the noodles won't get mushy. The first thing I changed was adding the onions and garlic at the same time before I added in the other vegetables. And this time I also did not steam the broccoli, it's just raw broccoli. It's going to cook and soften while it's sauteing with the rest of the veggies. I also switched up the curry paste that I'm using. I like this one, it was a little bit sweeter than the one I was using previously. I added basil as well and brown sugar to bring out more of a sweeter taste. And then I added an extra tablespoon of curry paste, and I saved the mushrooms for the end so that they don't get soggy. And here for the cauliflower rice, I'm just sauteing garlic and coconut oil, and then you're going to cook this really quickly and just making sure that you're stirring it, only like 5 to 7 minutes on medium to high heat. And you can season it however you like. I used garlic powder and pepper. And that's it. I cooked some crispy tofu on the skillet as well, and then poured that over everything, and it came out really good. This finally brings us to my favorite recipe of all the versions I made. This is the one that I recommend making. I used 3 cups of jasmine rice, and then I used a can of coconut cream and canned coconut milk instead of the boxed coconut milk that I used before. Still doing the onions and garlic first, but this time I added curry paste at the very beginning. I'm also adding the peppers at the beginning as well, still only half a pepper though. And then I'm just showing you guys how I fry the tofu, and you'll see how it turns out later. I'm adding some more curry paste once I add more of the vegetables in. And this time I'm using 2 limes instead of 1. I also added ginger to the mix this go around, and I still added brown sugar, but I used 2 teaspoons instead of 1, and I'm adding cauliflower. Since the base is rice, I think that would be a good match. And then again, adding some more curry paste, and you can see how much thicker the coconut milk in a can is compared to the one that I was using previously. I'm also adding basil at this stage, and I'm gonna add more later. And then I had half a cup of yellow squash and mushrooms for the end because I wanted those to be crisp still and not soft. And then you can add a little dash of coconut milk if you think that it's becoming too thick. And I actually used this whole can of coconut cream, so I think that was key as well as far as keeping the sweetness and the consistency that I wanted. Again, adding more curry paste and more basil. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This was my personal favorite. This is the one that I will make again whenever I want to make curry in the future. And this was a huge serving of vegetables that I had left over. So this will definitely last you a week if you want to do that for a meal prep. But I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you try any of the recipes. All 4 versions will be listed in the description box below. Let me know if you try any of them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.